Hey, good morning, Saturday morning. Tom here, Millionaire Pity Party, part 2. So, it's funny, I talk about, once in a while, like, always being prepared, do your work, look for, get educated on values and that sort of thing, and that way when you get a deal, you know a deal when you see one. And you know enough to take advantage of it. Well, I just lost a deal because I wasn't prepared, and I don't know if it's all my fault, but it is a little bit. It is. I did the math on it, and actually, this isn't even a real estate deal, to be honest. I actually have several real estate deals I'm actually starting to work on again that are looking good, but we'll talk about those later. But this is still a good lesson. So, I got rid of the little BMW that I had, that I told you I got for peanuts, but I've been actually looking to get myself something nice, and me and my son, I started looking at, I want something fast, I want something that's powerful and quality, so I've been looking at the Porsche Cayenne, the GTS. It's all-wheel drive, and it's, they're about $100,000, right in there, about $100,000, new, and I don't like to buy new. I like to buy something that's new to me, because as soon as you drive a car like that off the lot, there's $20,000 right there. So I've been trying to find something with maybe 25,000 miles on it that's been taken care of, but I just really started, and I didn't really know value that well. And sure enough, I went to, and I drove a Panamera. I thought maybe I'd wanted one of those. That's kind of like, looks like a 911, but it's big. It'll hold 4. I've got my boys in the car with me right now, so I just can't stand to have a 2-seater car, because it means either I can't take one of my boys, or I can't take. But anyways, the Panamera I wasn't thrilled with, and so I went and found this GTS Cayenne. I think it was a 2014. Only had 30,000 miles. Well, it was $58,000 for this car, or 59, I think. Yeah, 59 roughly, and it was only 59,000 for this thing, and it was fully loaded, had everything you could want, I didn't realize it was as good a deal as it was. But I took my son for a ride, and I tell you, he grinning ear to ear because it's a cool car, man. It's fast too, 440 horsepower, and so I was thrilled because I was pleasantly surprised how fast the damn thing was, and just some of the options were very cool. And so we took it for a ride, and I think really seeing my son smiling ear to ear instantly made me easy for me to rationalize. Oh yeah, I think I need this thing, because I haven't seen one car that I've taken for a ride yet with him that made him smile like that one. So anyways, I got back home, and I'm doing other things too, of course. But I start looking, man, that looks like a pretty good deal, and I'm thinking it's a good deal. So I called up, but still not quite prepared. I got a hold of one guy, and I said, hey, I'm a bottom feeder on deals. So I said, hey, will you take 48,000? And the guy calls me back, and he says, no, man, there ain't that kind of room. He goes, we figure it's at least 4,000 or 5,000 under market where it is right now. And man, this thing was a one owner, traded in. Somebody bought an A8, a big Audi. Or no, I'm sorry, I don't know what it was. He bought something big. I think it was a BMW, actually. It was a BMW lot. So anyways, I start looking at it, and I had bought my wife a new car, and I told her just recently, and I said, hey, and I didn't really get into the details, but I said, yeah, this thing's about $100,000, and really, what, I mean, she doesn't care. I shouldn't even have spoke to her to that, to be honest, but she said something to discourage me a little bit, and which I shouldn't listen to. And so then the next day I thought, the hell with it, I'm gonna go get that thing, that's a good deal. And call up, and I said, hey, I want to come down there and take it for a ride again. And he goes, Tom, man, he goes, I'm sorry. He goes, it sold last night. So now, since then, I've been looking around trying to find something, and I can't even find something close to as good a deal, and that is as a good a situation with the one owner. So we're gonna go look at one right now. It's similar. It's only got 10,000 miles on it. and it's a turbo, which means it's even faster and more powerful. It's got 570 horsepower. And, you know, I'm not really a big car guy, but this is a Porsche Cayenne Turbo S, I think, is what we're going to go look at now. But really, I just wanted the GTS. The turbos, I don't know. I hadn't looked into them enough. I don't want something that's a lot of trouble, and but I want something that's fast and sound and cool and safe. And that would seem to fit the bill right now, is that Porsche Cayenne. And so so anyhow, we're on our way. We're gonna go take a look at this other one. You know, I'm kind of funny. I like white cars. It's just kind of lazy. I know they look clean even when they're a little bit dirty, and I don't love cleaning my car all the time, but not on the outside. And so we're gonna go out there. But of course, now this one, it seems like it might be a good deal, but what I don't like about it, 3 owners and 10,000 miles. I'm going, man, why on earth does a vehicle change hands 3 times in 10,000 miles? And the thing started out bought in Florida to New Jersey to California. And so I'm thinking, yeah. Anyways, but I want to drive a turbo anyways, just to see. The GTS was certainly plenty fast for me, but you know, it's just something to see. So I'm doing my research. But my point is, that was a case, and this has happened to me with real estate too, is I've had a deal in front of me before I knew exactly it was a deal, and then I lost it because I didn't take advantage of it quick enough. And you don't want that to happen to you. This is a car, so it doesn't really matter. You know, it's not going to go up in value, so it's not that big a deal. But I wanted to buy it, and I wanted to get it under market, and that's how I am. I will not buy a car until I get it a good deal. I have to get a good deal. I would just won't buy it otherwise. That's how I am. So, but anyhow, I'm going to go out there and take a look and take this turbo for a ride, and who knows, maybe I'll love it. I don't know. But anyhow, I just want to share that with you. Always try to be prepared. Always try to, you know values before you look at something, and then you know what you can do. And if anybody's got a question, yeah, I don't know what, you know, hey, listen, real estate, if you got a question or comment, I can turn back on later today. I think, what was I talking about? I did a little video yesterday on, oh gosh, I don't know what it was now. Doing quite a few here lately on the whiteboard. Am I paying cash? You know what? It's kind of, I told you guys I burned up all my money on these last 2 houses that I paid cash for. So I mean, I have money, and but you know, I probably won't pay cash. I'll probably put about half down. I'll pay half cash. Whatever I buy, I'll pay half cash, and then the rest I'll pay over a few months or something. You know, maybe $10,000 a month for 4 or 5 months until it's paid off. I don't really like payments, but really I like interest being low. And I mean, if I got an interest rate that was like 2 or 3%, you know, I would probably just go ahead and keep it financed for at least a year. I just don't like owing money on cars. I don't like owing money on credit cards ever. And the only debt I have is real estate debt. That's the only debt I have. I don't owe money on anything else. And if I pull a line of credit, I only use that money for buying you know, more real estate, or you know, I keep that in reserve. Yeah, I always like to put it in real estate. You know, a guy told me a long time ago that I respected and admired when I was a young guy starting out, and he told me, he said, Tom, he goes, I only pay cash. He was talking about building this business, and he'd only pay cash for anything that he bought, or he'd pay half cash. He goes, got to pay at least half cash, and that's a good way to go in business. I can tell you right now, businesses usually don't succeed when they are on borrowed money. When you're going to start a company, and I have people talk to me, I know quite a bit about business. I have some real, you know, I've got quite a bit in business in general. You know, I have an import-export company, and I also manufacture, and you know, I ship all over the world the stuff that I do make, and we make it all. I mean, we have aluminum and machines that cost millions of dollars, and you know, there's a lot to that manufacturing. And especially when you kind of do it all like I do. I manufacture, I market, I invent, I create, and then I have to, you know, I have to go out there and sell the stuff after we make it. So it's a long process, but you cover a lot of different bases. But I do believe, you know, a business should sink or swim. People come to me with a good idea, and I say, look, if you got a good idea, one of the cheapest and easiest thing to do, if you really think you got a good idea, is A, create the item you want to make, or find somebody that'll help you do it. I'm not that guy usually, but once you get it created, then you go to like a trade show or somewhere where you can put it before the public, right? And then I just say that's the cheapest way. You spend $5,000 to go to a trade show. That's what you pay for your booth minimum, and then you just see if people like your idea. And I say, hey, listen, it's going to cost you $5,000 to find out if somebody likes your idea, but it's $5,000 is relatively small amount of money to know if your idea is going to either sink or swim, because you can spend tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars on something, and if you'd have just experimented early on and find out that the public rejected what you made, they don't like your idea, it would have been a lot better to get shut down and discouraged, or people playing the devil's advocate with you when you're only $5,000 deep or $50,000 deep, whatever. Because some people, they don't get that public feedback, and they keep digging in deep and trying to make the perfect contraption, whatever they're making, and next thing you know, and I've actually done a little of that too myself, but I got the discretionary income to do it with. I have hundreds of thousands in some apps that I've created, and I may lose them, but but that's just how it goes. But I'm prepared for that. But some people aren't prepared for that, and they borrow money from family and stuff like that on an idea, and that's really dangerous. You really want. I tell people, when you build a business, get the business going. A couple grand or something, borrow, sure, get things initially started, but that business needs to grow from income, nothing else. I mean, it needs to grow from profits, because if it's not growing from profits, if you're sitting there taking your job and you're funding your business, you're wasting your time. It's a slow death, and you're really, really hurting yourself, because you're taking away your income that you're creating from your job. So, anyways, but you gotta take a chance. You gotta use your seed capital and get things started, and that's why I love real estate. Real estate's simple, and believe me, I've made a lot of money in business, and I've made a hell of a lot more money in real estate. And real estate is so much safer a deal, because you only buy it if you know it's a great deal. You only buy it if you're buying it under market, and it's just math. It's very simple to determine what something's worth in real estate, because you're comparing it to what's next door, down the street, in the neighborhood, and as long as you have that to compare to, and then the current market conditions, you're basing it on today's market conditions, not speculating, you're safe, because you can just, I'm buying it under market, I'm going to flip it and make a profit. Now, if you choose to hang on to it, now you're rolling the dice. Sorry, guys. Let's see. There's a question here.
When you do assignment deals, will the buyer and seller know how much you made in the assignment? Has this created any issues with either party?
No. So the question I just got was, when I do an assignment, well, you're assuming there's a buyer and a seller. And I mean, obviously the guy that I'm assigning the deal to, he knows what I'm buying it for, because he's buying my contract. But don't confuse an assignment with a double close. If you watch the interview that I did the other day with Flipman, what he refers to as wholesaling, a lot of people will call an assignment, but most of the deals he's doing, I would not call an assignment. He calls them a little bit of an assignment, I think, too. But again, people use the terminology differently. What Flipman is doing is what's called a double close. He is actually buying and has the property sold to somebody else, but he closes the deal simultaneously. In other words, they go to escrow, boom, 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 everything's happening at the same time, and it's like one transaction, but it's really two taking place. And have I done that? I don't think I've done that exactly. I think I've done it once, and I'm just not remembering. Maybe twice, but I haven't done many double closes, because usually I can make it happen. I can just close it and resell it without having to worry about that. But I have done assignments, and assignments, no, nobody needs to know, because when I'm buying a property, that person, they got a contract to sell the property with me. I can assign that contract to somebody else, and you know, the seller's going to know when they, because I'm out of the deal now. I sell my contract. In other words, I have a contract to buy a property, and I say, you can take my position in this for 10 grand. I show them that the property's free and clear of liens. We look at the clear title report. You know, they approve the title report, and now they're just taking my position. They're assuming my position on the contract. And so I tell them, go ahead, take my position on this contract, $10,000. It doesn't matter to me whether they close or not. That's my money. It's done. If they don't close the deal, it's got nothing to do with me. That's because they decided they're not. Had a call coming in. Sorry guys, had a call coming in. So what I was getting back to is, when I do an assignment, I'm selling the contract, period. Has nothing to do with the real estate. It does for them because they're going to buy the real estate. But what I'm doing has nothing to do with the real estate. I'm selling them my right to buy the real estate, and sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. If they don't, I don't care. I still got my assignment fee, and really nobody's ever really known that I've flipped a property while I've been flipping it. Nobody knows what I'm making on the assignment. But I know if you watch that interview with Flipman, he did say he had something happen where the HUD statement, the HUD is what tells you what people are making, exactly what people are making on the deal. And somehow or another, the person that was involved with his double closing got a copy of their HUD, and they were quite upset because they could see that he was making a lot of money. So, but that's how it goes. So, hey, that's it for now. Oh, and there was one more question, sorry. Okay, hi Tom, Leo here. I want to thank you for the videos, the knowledge, and also if you have any real estate contract templates. Yeah, I'll work on that, guys. I actually have some surprises coming. And also I'm starting to divvy out that Android app too. So man, stay engaged, because if I feel like you're you're really serious about making money and want to make things happen, you're probably going to get it before everybody else. So I kind of do that based on well, yeah. So please stay engaged. Yeah, Fosh. Yeah, you're going to always get a little bit of charge for each, but the good news is that you can probably get away with only one title policy, so that does save money. So anyways, in fact, I know you can. So, hey, that's it. Tom here, Flip Anything. Please share, subscribe. Please like them videos, guys. It helps me if you don't mind. So I'm going to say bye here because I'm almost to the car lot. And how do I shut this off? And that's it for now. So we'll talk to you soon. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, hit it.